Well, good Thursday evening to you. If you look here at the cams here, Woodland Park is looking very nice, 75 degrees. WireNet Home Services camera, a couple clouds in the distance. And then notice here on the Monument camera, 80 degrees, sponsored by Hydrix. I'm making a point here that if we look at satellite and radar, not everybody looks that good. We're seeing a lot of active weather that is scooting across southern Colorado at the moment. And if we zoom in here just south of Eads, this is a stronger storm. It's not severe warned at the moment, but it's very gusty. And we've seen a lot of wind gusts throughout today. If you notice here on wind gusts right now, 22 here in the Springs, 29 in Pueblo, 13 down there in Trinidad. So things have been blowing around today, and that's been the main concerns with the storms that we've been seeing. So for the remainder of the evening, it's going to stay a little bit scattered in terms of, those thunderstorms that we're seeing. But generally, we quiet down as we go into the evening hours. We can't rule out, a possible isolated thunderstorm in the Springs here, but as we go into the evening hours, that becomes the problem of Kansas there. So as we zoom out here to the national scene, notice there's a lot of active weather pretty much all around, here moving towards the plains area. This is because of this wave of energy that we've seen that brought us the weather today. Now, as this starts to scoot off into the plains, behind it, it's going to leave some low-level moisture here in our area that's going to provide us the necessary energy for us to see some of those showers and thunderstorms again into your Friday. So notice here, dew points in the middle of the day aren't that high, but as we get into the afternoon, into the evening, you can notice here in the 50s up in this region and into the 50s in some places in our area too. That's going to be necessary for us to see some of those thunderstorms tomorrow. So today the storm started a little bit earlier, but as we go into tomorrow, it's going to take a little bit for them to cross over the interstate and get into our neck of the woods. So the first part of Friday starts off pretty good. Then we start to see development there by lunchtime, but notice here, takes a little bit for them to start moving across into our area. Here's 3 p.m. here. Think drive time home is when we start to see a little bit more thunderstorm activity in the Pikes Peak region. But then as that scoots off into the eastern plains, we get a little bit more activity up here to the northeast. That is where we had more of those dew point values that are a little bit higher there. So as we go into tomorrow, our temperatures are going to take a little bit of a dip in the mid 80s here in the Springs, in the low 90s in Pueblo and along the Arkansas River there. And then as we go into Saturday, we have another chance to see some storms. And also our temperatures take another dip too, 77 in the Springs, in the low 80s in Pueblo and along the Arkansas River there. So if we notice here, on our 7-day, we have a chance for some storms on Friday. Again, as we go into the weekend there for Saturday, but the temperatures definitely take a dip. But then we warm up as we go into Sunday, and it's a little bit drier as we go into the ending part of your weekend. And that's pretty consistent in the Springs here too. Notice, we got that chance for storms tomorrow, then we take a dip in temperature, and then we have a drier day for your Sundays. Here's a look at the 10-day forecast. Notice temperatures